Hello everyone, I'm Lenka and I'm the one behind Happy Heartsy. In this video, I'll show you how to crochet this beautiful baby blanket. It's made using just one stitch, but the color combination and order give it such a unique texture. Don't hesitate to leave a like, comment or share. Your feedback truly means a lot to me. You can also find the full written pattern through the links in the description below. And now, let's crochet. Alright guys, and for this baby blanket, what I picked for the yarn, I picked the Pound of Love from the Lion brand. You need 6mm hook, so I have it right here, and I use 4 colors for this. Of course, you can choose as many colors as you want, and it will again make a little bit different, like a design and the look. I'm actually expecting a baby girl, so I have the girly colors, but of course you can use also any other yarn, any other brand. It doesn't have to be the Lion brand, of course, as long as maybe it's acrylic or whatever you actually prefer, but maybe just make sure that you gonna make your own gauge swatch if you really want specific size. So that would be highly recommended. But Pound of Love, the Pound of Love, so it's medium for yarn, and yeah, like I mentioned, you will need 6mm hook. If you would be curious about the colors, so this gray, it actually calls Oxford gray. This is the regular white, this is the heather rose, and this one is the thistle. So these colors I use for that. And yeah, of course you're gonna need yarn needle at some point, scissors. I don't think that we will need a stitch marker, but you can always have it, like, you know, handy somewhere around. And yeah, that's everything for the material, and now let's get started. Alright, so now let's get started, and because we have this blanket in the Alpine stitch, then we start with the double crochet first row. So I will show you 2 options how we can start this project. It's either with the foundation chain and the first row separately, or we can do the the double crochet row like all at once, which is very beneficial, and I will be talking about it a little bit later. But also, because this is the Alpine stitch, and this pattern is that we will be switching every row like with different colors, so then we're gonna have lots of tails. So this is just a heads up, but there are techniques how to like work around it, even like that, you know, you will start crocheting around the tails, so that should be okay. So we won't have that many to weave in, but let's just give you a heads up that after every row you have to cut the yarn, cast it off, and just leave the tail over there, and then you have to just you just have to connect new yarn color each row. So, but it's definitely worth it. There's gonna be also a border, so it's also another way how to work around the tails without weaving them in. So now let's start. Let's start with that foundation chain and the first row. Alright, so now let's just start with the slip knot. And now you're gonna make your foundation chain. So you do yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull up the loop, and this is how you making your foundation chain. And for any size of the blanket, it's good to start with that you have odd number of the stitches, so then you will have even number of the foundation chains. And for this part, just for this beginning, I'm gonna start with the 16 foundation chains, but then once I'll show you the finished blanket once we are about to make the border. But now so I started with the 16. You do whatever size you'd like have the baby blanket. And now let's start with the first row of the double crochet. So now we're gonna insert the hook into the third chain from the hook. The loop on our hook doesn't count as a chain, just whatever is below. Also, some crocheters, because those two, if we're gonna insert the hook into the third chain, then those 2 chains count as a first stitch for the first row. So it's gonna be like a double crochet. And some crocheters, they actually insert the hook into the 4th chain from the hook, not the 3rd, and make those 3 chains as a double crochet. I don't like it with the three chains, just because it makes a kind of bigger gap between the first this stitch and the second stitch. So just for like a visual, I feel it's better when you skip only 2 chains, and that counts as a first double crochet. So you do whatever you prefer. In the case that you would like to actually keep your style and insert your hook into the 4th chain, you would have to add another chain. So this is, just keep in mind that you would have to add another chain, so you would have all odd number of the foundation chains, and it would still give you the odd number of the stitches. So I hope it makes sense. Now also another detail that I prefer to do is that when you see the foundation chains from the top, you can see the V shapes. When you turn it, you can see the bumps. So one bump is a 1 chain, and this is where I like to insert my hook, so that bottom of the project looks like nicer. It's cleaner. I don't know, I feel like it's just about a preparation, so it's not a wrong thing or right thing. You do whatever you'd like. It's just like that you won't be confused if you see me where I insert the hook. So now let's finally start it with the first row of double crochet. So let's do yarn over, insert the hook into that 3rd chain from the hook, yarn over, pull up the loop. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull up the loop through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull up the loop through the remaining 2 loops. So this is our 2nd stitch. So what I would recommend, at least for the beginning, I would just put stitch marker, insert it into that the 2nd chain, the top 2nd chain, because that counts as a first stitch. So once we are at the end of the 2nd one, we won't miss this stitch, because this is where we have to make our last stitch of the 2nd row. So because it's really easily to miss this one, I would just suggest to put a stitch marker, but of course it's up to you. So then we have 2, and now let's continue with the double crochet into each chain until the end of the row. And that's how you start. This is the first option, how you can start this project, with the foundation chain and the first row separately. And once you're at the end, you will just cast it off, leave the tail, and we're gonna start the 2nd row. But next row, if you want to give it a try, I will show you how to make the double crochet row, this double crochet row, all at once, and I will be also talking about the benefits. So if you want to try, if you want to try, just go ahead to the next part. If not, you can skip that part and go to that 2nd row tutorial. Alright guys, and now let's show you how to make the double crochet row like a right away, which I think that it's way better. I would highly recommend to at least give it a try if you don't know how. But let me show you, and then you can make your decision what you prefer. So now let's just, of course, start with the slip knot and then start with the chain 3. Now let's do yarn over, and we will insert the hook into that first chain that we made. So we just insert the hook there, yarn over, pull up the loop, and now we have 3 loops on our hook. Basically, the first row, the double crochet row, if you're gonna start right away, the first row, you have to start with that foundation chain and then your stitch. So now, once we are here with the 3 loops on our hook, you do yarn over and just make the 1 chain, or like you will just do yarn over and pull up the loop through the first loop only. This is our foundation chain. And now we have 3 loops again on our hook, or still. So now we will finish it as the double crochet. So you will do yarn over, and pull up the loop through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull up the loop through the remaining 2 loops. So this, what we just did, we created that foundation chain and then the double crochet stitch. Now, because we skipped those 2 chains, that counts as a first double crochet for the row. So I would highly recommend to insert the stitch marker into the top 2nd chain, because at the end of the second row you will have to make the last stitch into this one, and because it's really hard, I mean, yeah, it's really easy actually to miss this one, I would just put it there so you will know where is your last stitch of the following row. So now, but let's continue. So let's continue with that double crochet row. So this is that foundation chain that we just created. So you do yarn over and insert the hook into that foundation chain right here, yarn over, pull up the loop. I usually keep my thumb on those two, at least at the beginning, so it doesn't bother me there. Then I created chain 1, or that foundation chain here, and now I will finish the stitch like as the double crochet. I will show you again. So you do yarn over, insert the hook always into that last created foundation chain. At the bottom, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull up the loop through the first loop only. Now let's do yarn over, pull up the loop through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull up the loop through the remaining 2 loops. So now you can see, because we basically make that first row like a vertically, when I just put it like how it's gonna look, now you can see that this we're creating the foundation chain right here, and here are the double crochets. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's continue, and I'll be talking about the benefits right now, but let me show you one more again. So you always have to do yarn over because it's a double crochet row. So then you have to insert the hook into that foundation chain that we made it last, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull up the loop through the first loop only, so we created that foundation chain, and now yarn over, pull up the loop through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull up the loop through the remaining 2 loops. So now let's continue this way until you reach your desired length. And this is the foundation double crochet row, which I absolutely love it for many reasons. So one reason is that it's stretchier. When you do the foundation chain and the first row separately, you can see that it's a little bit tighter at the bottom because you created that foundation chain, but this is kind of like stretchier, and it also keeps the from the beginning the project like a nice and straight of the sides. Sometimes I feel, let's say if you make especially the smaller projects, then when you do the foundation chain separately, then it's a little bit tighter at the bottom. So this is just the one thing. The other thing is that if you, let's say, miscount your first row, and let's say you will make less, then you don't have to frog it with the foundation chain and the first row separately. You would have to frog it all the row and all the foundation chain, and then you have to start over. And especially for the bigger project like blankets, it's pretty annoying. So with this one, you can easily, once you just count your stitches, you see, oh, I need to do, let's say, 2 more. So you will just easily continue, and you can still have that first row basically done. And then it also works on the on the opposite way. So if you, let's say, made more stitches than you need, then you will just easily frog it, but still you keep your first row like done. So this is the, I guess, most important benefits of this. Also, I feel it's faster, especially when you really have the patterns that you don't need to start with certain stitches and different kind of stitches. So this is actually perfect when you start with the double crochet row like us for this alpine stitch. So I hope it makes sense. You can always go back to this part of the tutorial and see and train how to do that foundation double crochet row. And now once I'm gonna make, just for this tutorial, I'm gonna make only 15 stitches, because you should have odd number for any size for this blanket. And then I'll and then the next part we're gonna go for the second row. All right, so now I have my first row down. This is how it should look, no matter if you started with the foundation chain and the first row separately or the double crochet row all together. One maybe little detail is where your tail is, the beginning tail, because if you would start with the foundation chain separately, you would have the tail on this side. And yeah, if you do the double crochet row, you would have it on the right side, but that's basically it. The only difference now, like I mentioned, because this pattern is yeah, you will be you will be switching the colors every row. So I tried yeah, I tried like many swatches how we could do it easily, but unfortunately there's not much anyway, so we always have to cast it off after every single row and just join the yarn color, because yeah, we won't be even able to like take the on the sides, you know, attach the yarn color, because yeah, it always ends up on the one side. But I will show you a little bit like later what I mean. So now what you're gonna do, you just have to do yarn over, pull up the loop, then you will just cut the yarn and tie it. So this is how you like secure it. And this is the tail that you will either weave in or you can just work around it. It's gonna be up to you. So now we're just gonna turn the project and we're gonna insert the hook into that first chain, I mean the first stitch. Grab your next color. So for me is this pink. I will put it around my hook like this and pull through. So now this is how we join the yarn. Now we're gonna do chain one. It's only like a turning chain. It's only like to secure that new yarn color. And now we're gonna be making single crochet into each stitch, so until the end of the row. So that's pretty easy. So again, because this is just a turning chain, we insert the hook into the same first stitch, yarn over, pull up the loop. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull up the loop through the 2 loops. This is our single crochet. So this is what you repeat until the end of the row. And again, at the end of the row, you just have to cast it off and cut the tail. So this is just the beginning of the Alpine stitch, and in 3rd row you will actually start the pattern. So the texture will pop up and you will see. So now I'm actually at the end. So now this is the single crochet. Now I can take this stitch marker off and into the top 2nd chain or 3rd, it depends okay, how many chains you skip. We're gonna make our last single crochet. So this is how it looks, your 2nd row, 1st, 2nd row. And again, you just have to cast it off, leave the tail here, and pull through and turn the project for the 3rd row. If you'd like, you can either like, I will show you right now that we can work around the tail. So we will be like taking it like around here, the tail, and we can work around it. So that way you don't have to weave in at the end. But honestly, when I weave in the ends, I usually go like a zigzag, like you know, so it won't untangle and I won't see any, like a little bit like the peaks of the tails. So let's see how that will work. Also we will be making the border at the, like once we are done with this part, so that way we can also like work around the tails on the side. So I'm gonna leave it on you, or you can just leave it as it is and then weave in the ends. Like maybe the best tip would be like okay, as you go. So you just would have to, let's say, make a few more rows and then do the ends, so you won't get overwhelmed. But it's just a tip, you do you. Now we have to go switch back to that white yarn. And now let's just put the yarn around your hook. Yarn, oh yeah, and then pull through. And again, you will start exactly the same. Actually, because now we're gonna start the 3rd row, so we actually start with the chain 2. that counts as a first double crochet. So now I would actually again highly recommend to insert the stitch marker like right here, and then I know that on the end of the 4th row I would have to make my last stitch right here. So now you have those 2 chains, or 3, again this is up to you how many chains you do for like a double crochet stitch, so it counts as a first one. And now let's do the alpine stitch. So we have to do the yarn over, and now we will be working front post double crochet every other stitch. We will be alternating them, but let me explain. So now we already made that first stitch, so now we have to do the front post around the 2nd one, which is right here. And how you do it, you will insert the hook between the first 2 stitches of the double crochet row, not single crochet but double crochet, and around the post, the 2nd post, so the post is in front of your hook. Now you do yarn over, pull up the loop, pull it a little bit higher, and now you will finish it as a regular double crochet. So that's your front post double crochet. Now you will do yarn over, and now you will make your regular double crochet into that single crochet stitch from the previous row. Now you will make the front post double crochet around the next stitch, so which is this one. So again, the post has to be in front of your hook, yarn over, pull up the loop, pull it a little bit higher, and then you will finish it as a regular double crochet. So far it looks like this, so you can see how we are creating that design like a little hearts. And now we do the regular double crochet into the next stitch, and now we do the double crochet but the front post double crochet. So this is what you alternating until the end of the row. Again, you will cast it off and we will connect a new color. So again, you do now the front post, so you have to always go back to that last double crochet row, and then you will do the double crochet into the previous single crochet row, and that's what you keep alternating. And now I'm at the end, so now the end, my last stitch is the double crochet into the last single crochet. And now, because again, yeah, we just have to, yes, finish it, cast it off, and cut the yarn. And now let's just turn the project, insert the hook into that first stitch, grab your yarn, new yarn color, and again you're gonna put it on your hook, pull through, do yarn over, yeah, and then you will gonna make your chain 1, because now you're gonna be doing single crochet row. So every even number of the row is single crochet, every odd number of the row is this alternating alpine stitch, which is the front post double crochet and the regular double crochet. So now let's start the 4th row. So we just joined the yarn. Now we again into the same stitch, we're gonna make our single crochet and then single crochet into each stitch until the end of the row. All right, so I finished my single crochet row. So now again I cast it off, leave the tail there. Now I can turn the project insert the hook into that first stitch, and now whenever you see this texture, because this is the right side of the project, so whenever you see that side, that means that you start your double crochet row or the double crochet front post double crochet row, and then we have to go back to our main color. So mine is the white. So again, I'll just put around my hook, pull through, and now I will make chain 2, so that counts as my first like double crochet. And now let's head to that 1 2 3 4 5th row. The 5th row, the beginning of it will be a little bit different, because now you can see you basically always start with the double crochet, a regular double crochet stitch, or our 2 chains. And now the second stitch, now you can see that we already made that front post here. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make another regular double crochet into that second stitch. So for this row, we're gonna have 2 regular double crochets next to each other, the stitches, but it's okay, it will even out. Or once you're gonna go in the next rows, then you will again, or once you gonna be at the once you're gonna start doing the double crochet row, the next one, then you will start again with the front post double crochet. But now you had to start with the regular one, because we already made that front post right here, and we always basically have to do the opposite stitch from the previous rows. So now when you can see, so we did the regular double crochet, now we do the front post, and now it's gonna be easy to recognize, because now we're gonna make the front post around the regular double crochet from the previous row. So again, you will do it the way that the post is in front of your hook, and then you're gonna make your like double crochet. Now the next stitch is the regular double crochet. Now again, the next stitch is the front post double crochet around that regular double crochet from the previous row. So I think that from now on it's pretty easy where to actually do the front post double crochet, because you can see that they're a little bit like in the back. I hope it makes sense. And that's what you alternate until the end of the row. And also the end of the row for this one will be slightly different, because you will not end with the regular double crochet, but you will actually end with the front post double crochet around the last post. So now I have my regular one here, and now this is the white right here. So I'm gonna just do it like again around, even though that there's no more stitches. Just have to the tails, keep it there, just around it, and work my last double crochet. So it looks like this. You have the tails here, and now you're gonna cast it off, cut the yarn, pull through, and start your next row. And again, you will grab your next color. So I have this gray, I have to turn the project, and now this is gonna be my single crochet row. So it's pretty easy. Let's put it around my hook, pull through, chain 1 into the same first stitch, make the single crochet and the single crochet until the end of the row. And that's what you repeat. And then I'll show you the next row again with that alternating double crochet and front post double crochet, because you can see how it will even out the last row with the double crochets. So now I'm at the end. This is my last stitch. I will again cast it off, cut the yarn, leave the tail, turn the project so it looks like this, And now let's grab again the main color, insert the hook into that first stitch, yarn over, pull up the loop, and now 2 chains, because that counts as a first double crochet. And now you can see that I'm going back to my at the beginning, that you can see that I have 2 regular double crochets here next to each other. So now I started with of course the 2 chains is as a regular double crochet, and now the second one I will start with my front post, and now it's actually make it again the pattern the same, and I don't have the 2 double crochets next to each other. So I hope it makes sense, because that's everything what you need to know for this pattern. Yeah, the tails, well, now I have a smaller version of it, so it looks quite packed, but once you're gonna make your blanket, it won't be that bad. And then again, I would recommend to do the weave-ins like as you go, maybe after every like 10 rows or something, so you won't be overwhelmed. Or you can maybe leave it, and let's see how once we're gonna start the border, if we can also like work around them. But like I mentioned at the beginning, I don't like it much, because I'm always afraid that the tail, not that it would untangle, but I would be just that it would be like popping from it, because I rather do it like zigzag. So let's see. And now you just continue with this. So every row you have to switch the colors, and yeah, your main color is the one that you will be switching every other row. So this is it. I hope it makes sense, and I'll show you my actual blanket once I'm gonna make a little bit of a progress, so you can see how it looks. Alright guys, so I made a few more rows. I mean, for like I'm almost done with this blanket, just the base, not the border yet. But now you can see how it looks, and I absolutely love it, because even though that it's a Alpine stitch, and basically this is the right side, also the back side actually is a nice texture. It's like a little bit different. It makes, yeah, like you can see the difference now. So yeah, I hope that you have fun. I also find the tails, it's not as bad as I thought, especially when I do it as I go. I just always make like a few more rows, and then I just turn some background, like some movie or something, and then it's actually not that bad. So then I just weave in all the tails. I have still like here, but I weave in the ends, yeah, exactly where the each color to the same color. So it's nicely hidden, and it will be ready for the border. I find it it's gonna be better this way, but of course, again, if you have like some other technique with the tails, just do it. But yeah, this is it, how it turns out. I really love it, and I can't wait to have it done. So now the next step, until you're done and you have your desired length, I'll show you how to do the border. Alright guys, so this is the blanket that it looks. So now you can also see that I have my all tails weaved in, so it's amazing. It's ready for the last step, which is border. Also, one more thing is that even, of course, it depends like how many colors you will choose, or if you choose like the 4 colors that I have. So definitely make it that you will start and end with the same color. So for me it's pink, but of course the white or the main color is the basic color, so this will be your last row with this. But before, it has to be, or it should be, the same color, the first color that you start with. So now this is my last row, and if I would show you the first one, it's right here. So it's the pink one for me. So you have whatever you chose. And now let's start with the border, because I feel like it's not finished, even though that it looks gorgeous even right now. But now let's start with the border. Alright, and for the border, it's gonna be pretty easy, because we're gonna do the ribbing style all around the blanket. Of course, how wide it is, it's up to you. You can do it wider, you can do it less wider. It's up to you. And how we're gonna actually do the style, that we're gonna be doing the ribbing right away, into the blanket. So I think that it's faster and the easier way to do it, because or if you prefer, you can also do just the ribbing part separately, and then you would have to seam it to the blanket, but I'll show you how to do it right away. So now you will just grab the hook and insert it into that first stitch into the corner. Let's start with the corner. Then you just put your yarn around your hook, and now let's make 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the ribbing will be single crochet in back loop only all around the blanket. So now we made 6. We will make first single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So because this skip chain is only a turning chain, so we're gonna have 5 single crochet in total for all ribbing part. So now I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now this is our first row, and it looks like this. And now we have to always connect the row into that blanket, and because this is a corner, we're gonna insert the hook into that same stitch, the same first stitch that we started the foundation chain, and we're gonna make a slip stitch. So we connected that row with the slip stitch. Now you will just turn that ribbing part and start making the second single crochet row. So you don't do any chain 1, any turning changes, you will start right away. So now, and again, it's single crochet in the back loop only. So when you see the top of the stitches, you can see the V shapes. So, and the V shapes are out of 2 loops. So you will insert the hook around the back loop only. So that's the technique for now. And then you will make your regular single crochet. So in the back loop only for the entire ribbing part. And you should have 5 stitches in total. So now this is my second row done. Now I will do at the end of the ribbing, once you're out of the blanket, I always made a chain 1. And now let's start with the third row of the single crochet in back loop only towards the blanket. So now I have one more to do, just right here. And again, you will make the slip stitch into that same stitch, the first stitch. So it looks like this. It is a little bit like a crunchy, but it is exactly what we need. And let's do it like a 2. So we're gonna do like a 1 more row and second row. So we're gonna have 5 rows in total in each corner. So now we did the slip stitch. We just flip the project or the ribbing part, and let's make the third row, or the fourth row actually, fourth row. Now chain 1, and again single crochet on the way back, and again don't forget that you should always have 5 stitches, or whatever stitches you start with, it should be the same. All right, so now this is my 5 rows in this in the corner. So now let's again into that same stitch again, you will make the slip stitch. So it looks like this. Now we're gonna do, because now we are at the top of the blanket, so now you can see the stitches very nicely. Basically, one stitch is 1 row of the ribbing part. So what does that mean? That now, because we connected that last row into that corner, we're gonna make another slip stitch into that next stitch next to it. So it's this one. So we insert the hook there, and through the all stitches, it's not a back loop, and make the slip stitch right here, which counts as a turning chain right now. for the next row. So now we did a chain, we just basically connected the row first, and then we moved up for the next row. So we did the next chain, and now let's again make the single crochet in the back loop only, so all the way there and then back. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, and now let's go back. So now this is my last single crochet, and now what we're gonna do, we will join that this row into that next stitch. So not the same one that we started the row or when we did that basically the turning chain. So now this is the next stitch. So this is where we insert the hook, basically the stitch above, and we connected that row, and now we do another slip stitches because this is that chain, the turning chain. So then you can start the next row of the single crochet on the back loop. So whenever you will come back from the row like towards the blanket, you will basically do the 2 slip stitches. So into the first one, right above the row, and then second one here, because first slip stitch is you're connecting the row, and the other slip stitch is basically like a turning chain, and you go a little higher to start the next row. So I hope that that makes sense. So now let's just continue this way all around, all around this, like this side, and then I'll be right back and to show you again the corner right here. And here it's gonna be a little bit different because you don't see any stitches here, so it's gonna be pretty intuitive where you will insert your hook for the rows. So I won't have any specific number, but you will definitely feel it how to, okay, where and when to insert the hook. But anyway, I'll be right back here once I am done this side. So I hope that it all makes sense. Now let's just start the next row. Maybe let me show you one more time. So now I'm going out of the blanket. I have 5 stitches, chain 1, and now back. All right, so now I'm at the end. And now you can see that the next stitch is here. So we will connect this row with this one with the slip stitch, and then another slip stitch above, which counts as a turning chain. So now let's do it. So this is the 1 slip stitch, and now this is the second one, and then turn, and then you continue. So start with this like single crochet in the back loop only. This is exactly how you can see now how the corner is shaping. So once we are getting back right here all the way around the blanket, then we will just seam it, just this little part. So you can even leave this tail, which we can do it, or we can do it right away with the crochet hook. But either or, this is how we do the corner. But like I mentioned before, I will show you another corner right here and also the side. Alright guys, so now I just want to show you how it looks for this side. So this is the corner that we started, and this is how the border looks like. I think that it's actually very nice one and matching with the Alpine stitch. And now I'm right here, and now we're gonna make another corner. So now you can see that I already joined this row, and now I'm just going another slip stitch, the second slip stitch, and this is the corner already. So now let's make again 5 rows into the same stitch without any, like, you will just be slip stitching just once. But let me show you. Luckily it's only 5 stitches of each row, so it won't take too long. So now just chain one, and now I'm going back. Okay, 5. So now this is my basically like a second stitch, in second slip stitch into the same one. So basically we have 2 rows in this one, so let's do more. So I did the slip stitch. You will again just flip the project and do the single crochet in the back loop only. And now let's going back. So now let's go again, just the slip stitch. So now you can see how it's kind of starting to turn. So now let's just flip it again. Now let's flip it back. And now I believe that this is our last slip stitch here. So you can see how it's kind of turning. So now we're gonna just turn, but then we will not be doing the slip stitch into the corner, but into the side already. So now let's make one more row, or maybe actually 2 rows, but there will be connected already to the side. So now let's going back, just adjust my blanket. So now this is the last stitch. And now you can see that we're gonna insert the hook into the basically the next stitch of the side. So we just join that row, and then into the next above we're gonna make another slip stitch, which is like a turning chain, and we're gonna start the side. So now about, like I mentioned, now you can see that this is not exactly the stitches. So now you will have to insert the hook intuitively, somewhat like evenly next to each other for the slip stitches. So don't be also just be also careful not to have it like a curly or like a, you know, like a scrunched the sides. So let me just to show you how I would do it. I know that double crochet is basically out of like, it's pretty tall, and it would take like 2 single crochets to basically make it match the same size or the height of the stitch, but I don't think that it would apply for like for this border. But when you will start to like insert the hook, like I mentioned, like intuitively, it should be all right. So now we have one more stitch here. So now I would just insert the hook right above that pink row, and then right into the side right here. So again, you have to always do the 2 slip stitches, and yeah, maybe actually, because then the next one would be somewhere like here, and then here, and then into that into that colorful like sides. So you just do it intuitively, but basically it's exactly the same technique like this one. So this is what you repeat all around the blanket, and then I'll show you how I'll show you the full completed blanket. So I hope that you have fun. I hope that also this border is easy for you, and yeah, I can't wait to finish this blanket and yeah, have it done. Alright guys, so now I'm right at the beginning, so now I will just join this piece, and it's gonna be simple. You have actually again two options, so you can either, if you left a little bit longer tail, you can just cast it off, and with this tail you can weave in the tail through this part, the last row, or you can just leave it on your hook and just put the rows like together like this and make the slip stitch. So I have to actually turn it this way, and how you will do it, you will just insert the hook into that first stitch, then into that first stitch on the other side, and then you will just pull through and make the slip stitches all the way. So just through the 5 stitches, because it should be the same. So let's just do it. And now I have the last one. And you can see I already cut the yarn. So here it is. Then I will do it right away, cast it off. Now you have to grab the needle again, but now you can see that it's pretty invisible, this join, this seam. And now you will just grab your yarn needle and you will do you will weave in the tails. And that's everything. So let me show you full baby blanket, how it looks. Alright guys, so this is the finished baby blanket. This is how it looks with the Alpine stitch and 3 colors. You can see that also the back, even that this is the back, the wrong side, or the bad side, this is the right side. It's actually beautiful texture too, so I guess it's actually nice reversible blanket, especially with this ribbing border. I absolutely love it, that it actually fits to this blanket. So it doesn't have to be baby blanket, because like it's just one stitch. So you can see in the pattern like how you can make your own size, so it should be bigger, even smaller, it's up to you. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you had fun making this pattern. Definitely feel free to give me any comment, feedback, share, likes. I appreciate any support from you guys. And yeah, definitely don't hesitate to even email me your finished blanket with your color options, because I'm sure that this is just one of many. And yeah, I can't wait to see your colors. So that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and happy crocheting.